You want some blue jacket? No. All right. Okay, come on. I turn that on like.
Ahmad Wa, Panyawali Roshlum, Stand and Face Jerusalem. Blessing of the new moon. Barakatha Yahweh, Basham Yahweh Shai, Asherah, Natamanawa, Hachadash, Bashalawam, Tawada, Aman. Blessed are you, Yahweh, the name of Yahweh Shai that gives to us the Sabbath in peace. Thank you, Subir. The Ali Ma'ah Shariah Machat, Psalms 121. Anye Harayam Mayimye Oh Harayam Mayan Yabawa Azarye Yabawa Mayahu Shashab Shemayim Waraktaza La Yanathan Lamawat Ragalia Yala Yanawam Shashwamarka Hanela Yanawam Wala Yashan Shashwama Yashwale Yahweh Shamaria Yahweh Tazalia Ayub Yad Yim Yim Yad Yawamam Hashamash La Hakaya Wayarak La Balayala Yahweh Yashamari Makab Ra Yashama Napasha Yahweh Yashama Hawalakya Wabwaya my fat will I will Basham Yehoshai for water Aman. What?
Psalm 121. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord which made heaven and earth. It will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth even forevermore.
Amen. Shema Yasharella, hear, O Israel. Shema Yasharella, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh, Echad. Shema Yasharella, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh, Echad. Shema Yasharella, Yahweh, Elohim, Yahweh, Echad.
Deuteronomy 6 and 4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our power is one Lord. Amen.
Amen. Tapala Yahweh, the Lord's Prayer. Abinawe Shabbat Shemayim Kodash Haye Shanke Yahweh Malakwaka Taba'a Rotazawanke Haye Aisha Barataza Kabashemayim Natananawa Lacham Yawam Zad wasalak nawa kabawat nawa kasalak nawa kabawat yanawa wala abiyar nawa o nasayawan abo hawashai nawa murakaya laka hamalakwat wa ala wa thaparat wa walam aman.
Matthew 6 and 9. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, and forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Amen. Ha'ai Sharama does away with the Ten Commandments. La'ab, Yahayat, Lakab, Alahayim, Akharim, Alpanyat, La'ab, Thaishad, Lakab, Paso, Wala'ab, Thibadam, La'ab, Talakwakaf, Shamwab, Yahawab, Alahayakab, Lashawab, Zakab, Ath, Hayawam, Hashabath, La Kodashwa, Kabad, Abiyaka, Wa Amaka, La'at, Taratazak, La'at, Tana'at, La'at, Taganab, La'at, Thainad, Shakur, La'at, Tachamad, Ko, Asharat, Lara'aika, Aman.
Exodus 20 and 2. I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that to give his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. The seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy daughter, thy maidservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's son.
Amen. Shabbat, be seated. Barakatha Yahweh, by Shemi Hawashai, Asheranathan Anawa, Pari Agapan, Tuara Aman. By Yahweh, by Shemi Hawashai, Av Yashar. English translation. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the fruit of the vine. Thank you, so be it. To Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, with Israel. And Magua, Panuwa Jerusalem, stand and face Jerusalem. Barakatha Yahweh, Haggadah, Rakawam, Abiyah, Wanawa, El Yawan, Malak, Shamayim, Warataza, Wakad, the Bariam, Kayayam, Wagam, Hamashiach, Mayahawe, Arawanawe, Ahabnawe, Hapalab, Yahweh Aitaza, Yahweh Shai, Zakarnawe, Yahweh Bartazawan, Arinka, Yash'ala, Izarnawe, Banai, Wasap, Yash'ala, Nanawa, Yam Yan, Aita, Kayawamyam, Makwadam, Babakusha, Shalak, Mike Allah, Watazwadak, Alahayam, La Maganawa, Raparnawa, Washamam, Ilnawa, Bakwa, Shalak, Haruka, Shao, Yawashai, Lanawa, Lamadnawa, Rabiam, Kakamath, Abawana, Wada Ike. Shal the Barka Basham Yahushai the Wadatham Yad Waiwalam. English translation. Blessed are you, Yahweh, the great, merciful, mighty, terrible, most high power, King of heaven and earth and all things living, and also the anointed from Yahweh, our Lord, our friend, the wonderful counselor, Yahweh Shai. Remember, Yahweh, favorably your people Israel. Help us build and gather Israel, Most High, we beg you, right now, like the days of old. Please send Michael and the righteous powers to protect us, heal us, and watch over us. Mainly send the spirit of Yahweh Shai to us to teach us much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of thy word. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, always and forever, so be it. Repeat the Hebrew only. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the law. Barakatha Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Asherat, Natan Lanawa, Hatawarat. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us light to see. Barakatha Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Asherat, Natan Lanawa, Awar, Lara Awat. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the ram's horn to call the people. Barakatah Yahweh,
Barak Yahweh,
Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai,
Hashem Yahushai,
Asherat,
Asherah,
Natan Manawa,
Nathanael,
Karan, Ha'ayah,
Ayah,
La Korah,
Korah,
Ha'aim,
Ha'aim.
Yeshabra. Be seated.
No, you just sent me on your phone.
Hmm?
Your name just popped up.
Yeah, text. I set the text down.
No, man.
All right, so Shalom Yasharallah. Shalom everyone here in the Philly School. Shalom everybody listening in on the teleconference, and shalom everybody watching on live stream. Welcome to Hayah Shalom Kanas, or the Congregation of Israel, where we teach that descendants of slaves in the Americas, along with the indigenous peoples, make up the southern and northern kingdoms of the 12 tribes of Israel. And that we fall into a lower state, politically, economically, even religiously, because we broke the laws of God, found the Bible given to us by Moses, and that we come to out of this lower state that we fall into by turning back to these commandments we broke by following Jesus Christ as our example. One way that we do that is by keeping the new moon holy, which we're celebrating right now. And this particular new moon is the 5th new moon of the Hebrew year. So we're just going to read a couple new moon scriptures, since we should know most. And then I'll touch on a couple scriptures that talk about things that happen in history in this month that are of some significance. So once again, this is the new moon, or in the Hebrew, Chadash. My name is Nabia Zerubabel. Doing the service tonight. And for your notes, just write down that today is July 31st, 2019. And in the Hebrew calendar, it would be the 5th month and the 1st day. So once again, the 5th month and the 1st day. So once again, like I said, I'll be brief this evening. Each of us will read a verse pertaining to the new moon. And then I'll get a couple verses about some things that happened in history of significance that took place in the 5th month of the year. So first, I'll start off in Psalms 81, Psalms the 81st chapter. Psalms 81st chapter, I'm going to read from verse 1 to 4. Now just say come once you have it.
Sure.
'81. So Psalms chapter 81, verse 1, it reads, sing aloud unto power our strength, make a joyful noise unto the power of Jacob. Take a psalm and bring hither the timbrel, the pleasant harp with the psaltery. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. Being told all these things to do on this day that we celebrate. So we see we're making a joyful noise, we're singing aloud, getting musical instruments, bringing them together, and then we're signing off with the trumpet. It says, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day, and it says in verse 4, for this was a statute for Israel and a law of the power of God of Jacob. So this is a statute given to Israel, our people, to keep. So this is part of our custom. Wow. Just like we grew up keeping holidays in the world taught to us by our oppressor, right? These are the high holy days that we're supposed to keep for our true God and according to what he said to us, which his son embodied that. Since we know his son Christ was the word made flesh. So next, let's go to the Apocrypha. Ecclesiasticus chapter 43. And let's go through verses 6 to 8. And Baba Kushad, if you could read that and give us the sense of what it's saying, we would appreciate it.
Ecclesiastes chapter 43, verse 6. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of time and a sign of the world. That he that made the moon also to serve in her season, that he is the Most High. Most High made the moon, or he created the moon, and the moon is a servant of the Most High. So it serves its purpose. The purpose of the new moon is to serve in the appropriate time, which is in the new moon that we celebrate tonight. It says for a declaration of time. They tell us what time it is. So we tell time based on months, right? So based on months, we have different feast days that come in. So if we know what month it is that we're in, we should know which feast is coming up next. All right, so it says declaration of times and a sign of the world. So it is also a sign that indicates something or that communicates something to everyone, most importantly to the children of Israel. Right. So it communicates time to us, right? And in verse 7 it says, from the moon it's a sign of feast. So the moon, when the new moon come in, it is festivities time. It is time to rejoice, time to renew, time to get closer to the Most High, because once we remember the new moon, we remember the Most High, because the Most High created the new moon. And he ordained us to come in the new moon to keep a feast, right? In memory of that day. And it's 6 and 7 only, right?
8 as well.
So it says the month is called after her name. So the month symbolizes the same. When the new moon come in, we know that's a new month, right? So the new moon pretty much tell us what time we in, and we are in the beginning of a new month. Of a new month. It says from the moon is a sign of peace. So whenever we don't see the moon out there and we're in a new moon, it is an indication. It is a communication that let us know or that give us direction where we are, right, in the month. So we're in the beginning of the month. So a sign communicates something. It's just like if we're gonna go to what street to a particular house, first thing we ask the person, what's the house address? The house address is a sign, right? Because when we go in the door, if we don't see that number on the door, we're gonna be questioning, is it the house? Or is it that we have to confirm, right? Because the sign is not there. So if the sign is there, then we're gonna know we're in the right spot. So the same way with the moon that communicates to us the month, it's a sign that tells us where we are, what we should be doing in that particular time. Right? So the month is a call after her name. Increasing wonderfully in her changing. So it gave us the characteristics of that instrument, which is the moon. What does it do? It pretty much it start out, right? We don't see it, and then you start seeing it, and then it start increasing, and then it start out a new month again. Right? So that's what it says, increasing wonderfully in her changing. As the day change, the moon changing, just to give us an indication where we are in the month. Are we in the quarter of the month? Are you in the middle of the month? Are we close to the end of the month to start a new moon, or to start a new month? Right? It says being an instrument. So it is an instrument. Right? The moon is an instrument. Right? An instrument is a tool. So the Most High create that tool to give us everything that I just mentioned here. But most importantly, it tells us the time. Right? It says an instrument of the armies above. So among the other instruments that the Most High has, it is one of the instruments of the armies above. The armies above consist of what we see out there, right? The other planets, right? And the other light that we see out there that people call the stars, right? So it is one of them. It says, shining in the firmament of heaven. So it's pretty much shining up there, right? The firmament of heaven.
Here's a question. Would it ever be dark on the other side of the moon? Or was the whole thing shining? Like on the dark side of the moon, so I guess it ain't the dark side of the moon. It's not shining on the other side. So here's the question that we was talking about. Do the moon get its light off the sun? I said it can't be, because the sun way on the other side of the world, right? Or we on another axis that the moon can't get light off the sun. So on the other side of the moon is the dark side of the moon.
But the moon gets its own light.
Right. So if so, that must mean it's bright all the way around it.
Right.
That was for both of y'all.
Right. The moon has its own light.
So on the other side of the moon, it's not on the dark side then.
Right. When you read in Genesis, right, in the beginning of Genesis, it says he created two great lights.
Okay, good. So when they be on TV talking about the dark side of the moon, that's what China just saying. There ain't no dark side of the moon, right? That's why I asked that question.
So why is the moon dark?
It should be dark.
What makes the moon dark right now then?
If it's shining, it should be shining all the way around. Maybe now, come on.
Right, in our sphere right now,
Yeah,
it's not that it's dark. It's in our time. It is a new moon for us.
okay,
Because as it is a new moon for us, it may not be the new moon for another place around another. For example, if you're in
China.
it may not be the new moon.
Okay, well, China ain't gonna be dark right now. All right,
Even though the moon is not shining, right? You
mhm,
still have lights.
right,
Because
Here,
the moon is just one instrument of the armies above. You have other instruments that are shining in the firmament of that.
mhm.
Okay?
No, yeah, okay,
Other-
good.
right? So the moon is pretty much telling us what time it is.
Right.
It just happened to be
The beginning of the moon.
It just happened to be a light.
Right,
All right, that tells us what time it is, and it tells us how it goes about changing as it goes through the progression of the month.
right, you start off like a quarter moon, half moon,
And just like, for
3/4 of the
example, when
moon.
we say the sun goes down,
right,
on our part, the sun goes down,
Mhm.
but it doesn't go down like it goes to sleep.
no,
Because another part of
The
the
sun
world,
shining
the
forever.
sun shining for them.
right. So there's no dark side of the moon at all. Now, would you answer this, yes or no?
Were you
Nope.
finished?
Yeah, he finished.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it has to be, because otherwise, what are we seeing right now?
Okay, so I just asked him this a second ago. The moon is shining. Is it a full moon? I mean, the whole moon shining? Or is it shining half of the moon shining?
Neither. It's a new moon.
Stop, stop. Is the whole moon shining? See the tennis ball? It's like ping pong ball. Is that ball shining? Is the moon shining all the way around?
yes,
Thank you. That's what I was asking you. Now, is the moon shining?
Not right now.
right, not right now in our region.
Okay, if the
Where
moon
we
was
are.
right here, when we walk out the door, the moon be right there, full moon, and it's shining on the other side. Yes or
Yeah.
no? Huh?
Yeah.
No, say yes. No, go yeah. Yeah, cool.
Yes.
Yes.
Because like he just
Okay, I just
read,
wanted to know.
it decreases and increases
Okay.
throughout the month.
All right, because we're going to have a quarter moon,
Right.
half a moon.
Mm-hmm.
But when we get to a full moon, she's shining on both. Like we looking at, because we come out here to be right over there where the church at,
Mhm.
over the little chapel.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side is the show. Because this is why I want to know, because they said China's just laying on the dark side of the moon. There be no dark side of the moon. Because the moon supposed to be shining. See, this is how I know about that outer space thing. Because when they show me and you pictures on TV and books, they get on the moon, you see some dust. Ain't nothing shining. But they have a light coming from over here. That's how I knew the picture wasn't right.
Right.
Excuse me, my grandfather looked at me. What, boy, go ahead. My grandma came with a porch. Hold on now. Because if you can't look at that moon with that time, we talking about the moon shining tonight, y'all. When you came here, is the moon right there? It is? Okay, cool. It's shining, right? When you get to the moon, it should be still shining. Right or wrong? Now, they named it on the moon, they showing you a picture of a ground
Mm-hmm.
with a footprint of Armstrong.
Mm-hmm.
So there been a lot since they admitting now because they bringing it out now. See, I know they was lying a long time ago. When I was younger, I was just like creating. See, I am now. I was creating. I said, I know that ain't right. Because if you're laying on the moon, it still should be shining. But when white men get up there, it's dust. Go-kart they ride around, it's playing golf,
Mm-hmm.
flag flipping and everything. They lying to us. They be underneath water. That's how they've been recording it. Because you know, you go to movies, look real good, don't it? Don't look at Star Wars. Look at Jurassic Park. Oh, man, you gonna eat him. Been
Right.
lying. Come on, back to class. I'm sorry, y'all
And,
didn't even go there.
No, it's good.
I'm sorry.
It's good because we're talking about the moon.
Talk about the moon now.
Because we were taught growing up that it reflects the sun's light.
Whoa. It comes from the sun.
I said we were taught
Oh,
growing
yeah,
up
there you go. And
that
then I knew
it
that was
reflects
wrong.
the sun's light.
Look at here. You remember that world thing in your class? And the sun right here and the moon over here, how the heck is reflecting off the sun? Teacher looked at me, Mr. Robinson, hush. That's a lie. Go ahead, y'all, I'm a hush now.
Yeah, it goes through its phases.
Me.
And when the
White man
nighttime
bring me
comes
toys.
in another part of the earth, you'll see it. The other parts of the earth will see it in that particular phase, just like we're seeing it here. It's not like, oh, we have a new moon here and it's a full moon on the other side of the earth. No. I'm not sure if that's what was being said, but that's not what's going on.
Okay, thank you. You too. I'm
So
glad
now-
I get the two of y'all together. Where we at?
So now if you could bless us, Colossians chapter 2,
You know like you gonna give me a hard one, ain't you? I know it's gonna be like
16 and
Colossians
17. Give us the sense of that one.
16 and 17.
We would appreciate it.
Lord Jesus. I got you. Ooh. 10:22. Y'all ready? Y'all got computers. I got something for y'all.
I got both.
Okay, Colossians chapter 2, verse 16 and 17. That no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink or in respect of a holy day or of the new moon or of the Sabbath day. Well, let's go back to the beginning. Let no man therefore judge you in meat or drink. Well, they've been like what we just been talking about. They've been lying to us about that right there about the moon. They've been telling us stuff that's been a fib. That's been a lie all our life. And they constantly still doing it today. Now, or in respect of a holiday. Excuse me, the pastor across the street, he didn't know nothing about, here you go, I gave him his copy of the high holy days of God. New Year's, Valentine's, the 4th, they've been lying to us since day one. Hold on, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, the main year. These when they really get Black Friday, and everybody in Walmart about to spend all their money. Forget the lights, forget the gas. Gotta go get this TV for my kids with no electricity on in the house. On the new moon on the Sabbath, been going to church on Sunday all my life. Lying to me. They've been lying to me all my life. But that's how the Catholics had it. That's how they, still got it. So look at it when Sunday come here, cross the street, it'll be loaded, just to kill. And that's not the Sabbath. That sound good to you?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, verse 17. Which are a shadow of things in come, but the body is of Christ.
To come.
Let me read that again. Which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ. The shadow, that means you're covering something. Let me see, a shadow is a reflection of you walking down the street, so that means a shadow right there. Well, they've been throwing shadow, shade, and everything else in our face to cover up the truth. But like if you go back down to 900 AD, they never figured out today, that we'll be doing, let's go to 900 BC. They never thought that we'll be doing what we're doing right now. So we figured we get them with this right here, they carry this lie all the way through their life until somebody started reading of things. But, that's a big word right there, right, y'all? But the body is of Christ. Now, that's the main thing right there. Christ said, you got to come through me to get to my God. Right, y'all? Anyway, they know it. But the body is of Christ. Our temple right here, here go church right here. Here go everything right here. Because what me and you do, think, say, look, like you look at a woman too hard, that's a sin. But my man said, well, how you gonna pick out a wife? I look at her. If she got nice hair, nice teeth.
How does that relate to the word?
I'm just talking now. Anyway, but the body is of Christ. So if we stay with Christ, like right now, what we doing now, this is the body of Christ right here, what we doing now, learning the word of God. And plus, we're talking and discussing about the new moon. You looking for a magical word?
The shadow part, what you said was true about a shadow, but when it says which are a shadow of things to come,
Well,
what's that saying?
a shadow of most things to come. So shadow, well, I think there's too much more they can bring us that we gonna be already ready for. Diseases, wars, inflation, some more lies. I don't know.
So when it says a shadow of things to come, it's just like in regular time, it could be, from moonlight or sunlight. A shadow is like a similitude, meaning something similar, but not exactly. Like if you're
Like your
outside,
shadow.
the shadow looks like you, but then you have to look at the thing casting the shadow, right? That's the real thing. The shadow is just an example of
Of you.
something like you, but not exactly you. It's just a shadow.
So they're gonna bring something like the real thing, but it's not real.
No, not them. That's talking about the Most High's righteousness.
Oh, okay, all right, just read me outside.
Because you read it in verse 16.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Let no man therefore judge you. I don't know if you spoke on this.
Say that
Meaning,
again?
the top part of verse 16 where it says, let no man therefore judge you, meaning you should know
Yeah,
to
okay.
keep those things.
I just said that about these holidays.
Right. So that's the shadow of things to come, because in the kingdom, it's not just going to be the shadow. It's going to be the thing casting the shadow.
Right.
The real deal is going to be in us. Right now, it's just a handful of us, like we were talking about in the previous class about the
So
one
the shadow's
third.
not the real thing. You are the real thing.
No, it's like how you have some of us keeping it now, a few of us keeping the commandments. It's going to be known in the kingdom. Whereas now it's only known by just a few of us. It's going to be known by everybody to do it in the time to come when Christ comes back. Yeah, it's not connected. All right, let me try it again. So think of it like a reflection in the mirror. See this mirror? That looks like you, but that's not you. You are yourself.
Right.
That's a reflection of you, so it looks like you.
Okay.
Just like a shadow is not you, but it's shaped like you. So what we do now is like a reflection. It's like a shadow.
So I could use the word shadow as a reflection of me, but it's not me.
Right.
That's just like taking a picture.
It looks like, right. It looks like you. You kind of get an idea of, okay, this is what he looks like until you actually see the real thing.
Go out, you look in the mirror.
And then when they see you face to face, oh, okay, here's who you are.
Okay.
I had an idea before when I saw your shadow, your outline. I had an idea when I saw your reflection in the mirror. Now I'm talking to you face to face. Now I really get what you are, what makes you you.
Okay.
So right now, we represent, as far as those of us who are called in this truth, we're like that shadow because, like I said, the truth isn't known all around the world. It's just kind of something you see like off to the side.
Right.
But in the kingdom, Christ comes back. They'll get to see Christ face to face. Like, okay, this is what the truth is really about. Okay. It'll be in full effect.
So the shadow is just a reflection.
Right, or it's like an outline.
And the mirror is just a reflection of you.
Right.
But shaking your hand is really you.
Right, not just a picture.
Right.
Or an outline. And you can just write down Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 1. That speaks to that as well.
And it's Hebrew who again?
Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 1.
You want to go there?
Yeah, if you want.
Hebrew 10, 1. It says, for the law having a shadow, that's a real good one there, of good things to come and not the very image of the thing. Yeah, that's true. And can never, with those sacrifices which they offer year by year, continue to make the comers into perfect. Thereunto perfect. Perfect.
Perfect. You had it.
Perfect.
Right. So it says, for the law having a shadow of good things to come, and not the very image of the things that we were just talking about before.
Would there be like holidays that's like not real?
No, it's like,
Let me go back to this picture again.
it's like us going through the motions of keeping the law.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when Christ will come and manifest himself, like he did his first coming, he's going to come back again.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be now those things embodied in their perfection. Look at to see Christ doing it and doing it perfectly, where it won't be like we're scratching our head. Okay, are we doing this the right way? Keeping these holy days the right way?
Mm-hmm.
Because right now we just represent the image of the shadow. Whereas when Christ comes on the scene, he represents the face to face.
Right. That's his truck. Okay.
So now, let's get these. I'll read the first one. Just some different scriptures dealing with things that happen around this time of year in the fifth month. So first, let's go to Numbers. Numbers, the 33rd chapter.
Oh, you let you read this answer. You wouldn't know, can he read? You hear?
So Numbers, the 33rd chapter.
Wait a minute, let me get verse 50. Well, 33, 1.
38 and 39.
38 and 39. All right. I got you, 38 and 39.
And I just say con everyone else when they have it, and then I'll read it.
You don't have to stand up in class and read? Yeah, Numbers chapter 33, verse 38 and 39. Wait, he said 33. You say chapter number 30, chapter 33?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, verse 38 and 39.
Right.
All right, he didn't know.
So everybody has that?
Yeah, so long. I got it. Right. It's your turn, we on the race.
So this is Numbers 33 and 38. And it reads, and Aaron the priest went up on Mount Hor at the commandment of the Lord, or Yahweh, and died there in the 40th year after the children of Israel were come out of the land of Egypt, in the first day of the fifth month. 39. And Aaron was 123 years old when he died in Mount Hor. So this going into what? Like you guys are reading the Sabbath service, every time you read through Numbers, which you're going to read again this Sabbath coming up, right? I think you guys read this a couple weeks back. It was this month and day when Aaron, he with the ghost, went back to the Most High. And notice here too, it tells you it was after 40 years in the wilderness. That's when he gave with the ghost. Because remember, he was 3 years older than his brother Moses. Hence, him being 123. If you read Moses, he died at 120, right? But he died this day after being 40 years in the wilderness. Okay, so another event we can get as well that happened. In the Kings and the Chronicles. It's actually even in Jeremiah too. Since the Kings and Chronicles chronicle the rise and falls of kings and prophets that were around during the reigns of those kings. We can go to 2 Kings, 25th chapter. We could start from 8 and then we'll go down to 17.
8 to 17?
Yeah. And quiet. If you could read that, Baba Kushal.
2 Kings 25:17.
Mm-mm.
2 Kings 25.
You're going to start in 8 and read down to 17.
2 Kings 25, verse 8. In the 5th month, on the 7th day of the month, which is the 19th year of King Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, a servant of the king of Babylon, unto Jerusalem. And he burnt the house of the Lord and the king's house, and all the houses of Jerusalem. And every great man's house burned he with fire. And all the army of the Chaldees that were with the captain of the guard break down the wall of Jerusalem round about. Now the rest of the people that were left in the city, and the fugitives that fell away to the kings of Babylon, with the remnant of the multitude, did Nebuzaradan, the captain of the guard, carry away. But the captain of the guard left of the poor of the land to be vine dressers and husbandmen, and the pillars of brass that were in the house of the Lord, and the bases, and the brazen seat that was in the house of the Lord, did the Chaldees break in pieces, and carried the brass of them to Babylon, and the posts, and the shovels, and the snuffers, and the spoons, and all the vessels of brass wherewith the minister took they away, and the fire pans, and the bowls, and such things as were of gold, and gold, and of silver, and silver the captain of the guard took away. The two pillars, one seat, and the bases which Solomon had made for the house of the Lord, the breast of all the vessels was without weight. The eight, 17, right? The eight of the one pillars was 18 cubits. And
That's the height.
The height, yeah, the height of the one pillars was 18 cubits, and the chapiter upon it was brass. And the height of the chapiter 3 cubits. And the breathen work and pomegranates upon the chapiter round about all of brass. And like unto these had the second pillar with written work. And
Yeah, that's good. So if you go back to First Kings, all the way back to chapter 7, you read about when these things are first being built. This is going into the destruction of the first temple under King Solomon. Because by disobedience at that point, this is when the famous event took place in that year 586 BC. But it happened around this time of year in the summer. And as you read down, it goes into more of that story. And this parallels also with Jeremiah, because remember Jeremiah, he was a contemporary with the last kings of Judah before the kingdom fell down. So it's at the end of Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah, chapter 52. Jeremiah 52.
Oh, go there.
Now just write this down. It's going to say pretty much the same thing. Jeremiah 52 from 12 down to 23. Something else that's interesting too is with this history of the temple being destroyed during that time of year, when we went back to build it back up after the Babylonians fell, during the reign of the Persians and the Medes, because remember the Most High only had us go there for 70 years and then allowed us to go back. Those that were young and that had gotten older could go back into the land because the Most High is merciful. And that's in Ezra. Go to Ezra chapter 7.
EZRA.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chapter 7.
And we can read from 8 down to 10. And as a card, you can read that, Baba Kushal.
Chapter 8, verse 10, right?
No, chapter 7, verses 8 to 10.
Oh, 7, 8 to 10. All right. Mm-hmm. Ezra, chapter 7, verse 8 to 10. And it came to Jerusalem in the 5th month. And that's what it is right now, the 5th month, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you just read that when you just read it, the 5th month, which was in the 7th year of the king. For upon the first day of the first, turn the page, first month began he to go up from Babylon, and on the first day of the 5th month, which is this month here, came he to Jerusalem according to the good hand of his God upon him. For Ezra had prepared his heart to seek the law of the Lord, and to do it, and to teach in Israel statutes and judgments.
Right. So the same month the city was destroyed. Now, in that same month, sometime later, Heavenly Father would allow the righteous of us, Ezra at this time, and Nehemiah, to come back to rebuild what had been broken down.
Right.
It's not exactly the same, but it kind of even makes me think of when we celebrate the Feast of Dedication, where you have that time of year, the 9th month, 25th day, when they defiled the altar, right? The heathen, when they came in. But then at the same time, the Most High, through his mercy, raised up the sons of Mattathias, the Maccabees, to come back and to reestablish the temple, throw out the things that had become defiled, and then cleanse it again at the same time.
So you get the new moon twice in 1 month then.
How?
I'm just asking because I got July the 1st, new moon. July the 31st, new moon. What y'all got? What y'all got? What you got?
Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
According to the
new moon,
where they separate months by the sun.
Right. You got that? I write down notes. July the 1st, Shemot gave class. July the 1st, new moon. Then Kawana birthday, July the 31st, new moon. 5/1. That's why I asked.
Because if you notice, the solar months are longer than the lunar months.
Okay. Am I right or wrong? That's what I'm just asking. Let's go around 4 weeks.
But it's 2 different months. Like, that's the month based on them using the sun versus telling the time of month based on the moon.
Okay.
So it's always going to be the moon telling its own time. It's not going to overlap the moon or the lunar month. But the lunar and the solar may overlap. Because what you'll notice is, as you look in the new moon calendar, you'll see the day of the month, the day of the solar month gets earlier and earlier. So it'll be 1 month, it'll say, for example, it'll be the 31st, right? Then it'll be August 30th and September 30th. Then October 29th. then November 28th.
Whatever. I'm gonna give you something.
So let me try this again.
And try that again, because Rodney didn't understand. No, I'm just asking, can you have the moon twice in 1 month?
Hear what I'm saying?
And American months, but not in solar.
No,
This is yes or no
solar months,
question.
not lunar months.
Okay.
So what you'll see is you look on the calendar, according to our calendar, it's going to be based on a new moon, but the timing is not going to be the same on the months based on the sun,
Okay,
because the year is longer based on the sun. So that's why you'll see the new moon will be, say, July 31st now. Then it'll be August 30th. Then it'll be September 29th, October 28th. You see the numbers start getting higher and higher throughout the year based on the solar month, as far as the new moon. And you'll have it happen again where during the same solar month, you might have new moon come in the first day and then also come in the last day of the solar month, because those months are longer versus the lunar months, which are only on average 29 and a half days.
so this is another part of this is the solar month or the other month right here, July the 1st. What was that?
New moon.
Okay. Was that the solar month? I just learned this right here today. I just know we had class July the 1st for the new moon.
Right.
Like today we having class for the new moon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, July the 1st we had it for the new moon.
The fourth new moon. This is the fifth new moon.
Okay, it's the same month though. That's all I'm saying. Bro.
No, it's not the same. It's not the same lunar month. No.
So the lunar month and the solar month.
Right. They're their own thing.
Oh, okay, all right.
They're measured based on a different standard.
But what was this moon right here? The first, July the 1st. Solar,
That was the fourth lunar month.
lunar. Let me put lunar in. What is this month right here? What is the day?
The fifth lunar month,
The 5th lunar month.
based on the moon. And that's what we call them moons. That's why he read earlier the month is called after their name, because the month is supposed to be told based on the moon, not the sun. That's what they do. That's where we get in the prophecy. It says they shall think to change times and laws. Esau. And use the sun instead of the moon.
Okay.
Look, I didn't do it.
Lunar.
I didn't do it. I'm just
I know you
explaining
didn't.
it.
Okay, I put you.
You looking at me like I
Okay, he
did this.
said lunar for July the 1st. July the 31st, he said lunar.
I don't think you hear what I'm saying. They're based on different standards.
Okay, is it lunar or solar July the 1st? Yes or no? Don't say nothing. Just say yes or no. Is it lunar July the 1st? Yes or no?
This year happened to be, yeah.
July the 1st, man, brother.
It was a new moon this year, but it may not be next year.
I ain't worried about that. I'm talking about July the 1st. Was it lunar or solar? Solar. How you pronounce it?
You got both.
Yeah, because he said lunar, and then I just asked you for the 31st. You said lunar. I wrote it.
We got two different ways of counting the time. We got the way America counts the time, and we got the way we were taught how to count the time from the Bible.
Okay, so you said lunar then.
The way the Bible says we count the month is according to the lunar, or
Well, you making
we using the moon.
Forget about it. But I just asked you. This is a simple question.
I'm trying to go with what he
You
said.
had the moon twice, man. July the 1st.
I'm trying to go with
31st. That's 2 times in a month.
I'm trying to go with what Gabar says, because clearly
You don't know.
that makes more sense to you.
Okay, all right.
I'm trying to explain to you, man, but you keep talking.
Wow. Okay. Well, I know we had one July the 1st and July the 31st. Can you understand
Right.
what I'm saying right there? That's twice in a month.
Right.
Twice in a solar month, which is what Esau used.
Okay. Okay.
But according to what the Hebrews, our people did, we used the moon.
So we go
to determine when a month.
July the 1st and lunar.
I'm still
was
answering the last part.
This-
You're
this
moving on
guy-
to the next part. I'm still trying to answer the previous question.
Let me say something I can clear up a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay. We'll try it.
The America month
It's July the 1st.
is longer than the Bible month, so therefore, our new moon starts in their month twice.
Okay.
How was that?
Okay. I got that.
Okay, we're
Our
good.
months are shorter, so therefore, that new moon came twice in their month, because their month is longer.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
And the reason is
So that's-
because the moon moves faster than the degree of how the sun moves.
Okay. All right, Nabi, I'm with you. So there are two different types of moon, lunar and solar, but it's American moon, like you said, right?
Two different types of money,
Two different types of month.
based on two different standards.
America and Hebrew, right?
What he said.
Okay, well, all right then.
I don't want to say anything
Yeah,
else. It might make things
Yeah,
more confusing.
American and
Just-
Hebrew.
just do what he
Straight
said.
out the Bible.
Right.
The American counting the way they want.
Well, okay,
I'm not up to play
So we
playing
should-
more back
okay.
and forth. So just what he said.
what he said. You don't know what we talking about, man. I'm gonna listen to you from now on. Nabi.
No, no,
Shut
no,
up.
I ain't telling man.
no, because sometimes
I
the
got
way another brother words it
Yeah.
may be clear. Even though the brother may be saying the same thing, it may not be heard the same to the other person's ears. I get that. I'm cool with that. That's just how it works.
You catching on? All right,
So that's it.
You slow the class down too, man. Go ahead, Nabi. You won't do that again.
So that's Ezra chapter 7, verse 8 to 10,
Yes.
showing another, like I said, event in history as far as Israel going back into Jerusalem, whereas during the time of Jeremiah, we had Israel being taken out of Jerusalem and Jerusalem being destroyed around the same time of year in the 5th month of the lunar calendar, how we told time. And just so I referenced it, but the fact that we had this discussion, let me show evidence of why. This is Daniel, rather, chapter 7. Daniel chapter 7, verses 23 to 25, and Gabar, if you could read that, Baba Kushan.
No, just go to something.
Just say calm when you get it.
I been got it.
Daniel chapter 7, verses 23 to 25. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces.
So Daniel's seeing a vision of this empire that we're in now, right? The fourth beast.
And the earth.
Yeah.
And you see its influence it has across the whole earth, where even though we see it here in the West, they got outposts, embassies, army bases, everywhere they go throughout the earth, right? Keeping an eye on things, watching things. Read on.
24. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings that shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings.
Right. So when it says the 10 horns of this kingdom and the 10 kings that shall rise, it is going into the original, what they call it the EU now. European Union before was called the European Economic Community. Right? 10 different nations of Esau's power out in over in Europe. And it says, another shall rise after them, talking about America. It says, he shall be from the diverse from the first, he shall subdue 3 kings. We're going into now this country being established, and them fighting a war against, like we learned in school, them fighting against what 3 kings? You look at the languages being spoken in America, the chief languages, those are the ones that were fighting over this land, which was the English, or England, the French, France.
British?
Right, same thing. The French of France and Spain, or Spanish.
Those are the 3 countries that was over here in America when they started out.
But who started? You mean white man got it?
Yeah.
The main ones, exactly.
The late ones. Okay.
Now, when they say first, they mean the first 10 kings.
Right.
Of their country.
Mm-hmm. Of
All
Esau,
those white countries over there in
Yeah.
Europe.
of Esau's power.
Right.
Read on 25.
25 says, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of times. Can
Right.
you break that down for me on how y'all get $100 times?
Which part?
Times, and dividing the times. Because Ben said the same thing. He talking about 100 plus 100 plus 50. Then that's the number of years that we was in slavery, 350 years. So how do they get 100? How do you equate time with 100?
It's actually 100, 250. Because
Right.
time is just 100, times is 200 because it's 2. And then dividing a time, which is half a time, 50. That's how you get 350 total.
Okay. How do you make times 2? Times is plural, so it could be 2, 3, 4, 5 instances.
Because of the history. Because it's part of the prophecy. Just like you read other places, it'll say 3.5 days.
Yeah.
It's referring to that same time frame.
Oh,
'Cause
so
you
that's how you look at that. Okay,
Right.
I'll look at that.
Because you see, it'll also say 3 days and a half in other places.
Right.
We'll do a class on it probably some other time again,
Okay.
but it'll say 3.5 days. Here it says time, times, and dividing a time. It's referring to that same prophecy. And
Right.
we're looking at history, we can see they always acknowledge 1619, 1620 is when the first colony was set up in Jamestown, where the first slaves were brought to in North America. Not the Caribbean, North America, right? We're talking about America here. From that time, 1620 to 1970, that's the 3.5 with the time, times, and dividing at the time, because in the 1970s, that's when the truth, as we know it now, as far as the understanding of the 12 tribes, that we're the real Jews, that now started to come out in full force. You had little remnants of that knowledge throughout that time period in the 1900s, but it really didn't start coming out until these last couple decades, in the 70s up until now. So now prophecy to them is now history to us. Does that answer your question, Gabor?
Yes, I understand.
That last part, you heard the last part I said?
Say it again, I'll tell you.
No problem. So what was prophecy to him and to John when John wrote it in Revelation, same time frame, it's now history to us now.
Right. That was prophecy. He was scared. So it wasn't happening then. It's what was going to happen.
Right.
You got that?
I've been happy.
But the main reason why I wanted to read this, based on the discussion we had earlier, the part where it says they shall think to change times and laws.
Right.
So that's where we're trying to tell, oh, what time of month did this happen? And,
Right.
you know, oh, it's like we were talking about, oh, the Day of Atonement comes in the 7th month and the 10th day. So if you're using Esau's calendar based on the sun, you may think, oh, the 7th month, that's July 10th. 7th month is actually later in the year according to the lunar calendar. So you get confused if you're using one type of month versus the other type of month, or the month that they came up with. Like it says, they shall think to change times and laws. And we don't have to go into that. We know all types of laws they're setting up that aren't with what the Most High said. That's its own discussion. Okay. All right, so with that, we'll make an end and we'll say Shar Chadash, which in the ancient Hebrews, that's how you say Happy New Moon. Hope everybody was edified by the lesson this evening, and maybe you learned a thing or two about some other things that happened during this time of year, at least in history that we see found in the scriptures that pertains to us. Because oftentimes those dots aren't connected. We're taught that this history is not our history, but actually it is.
Hey, you got some white out.
I don't, but maybe some brothers do. We can discuss it after we finish, or find something else we can use as a substitute if we don't have it. All right, so with that, we'll do the closing prayers. So Shakadash once again. We'll talk to everybody later on in the week for the Friday class. Most High as well.
I'm good. Yeah, she called me by Friday. Yeah. And what time you went and said?
I can, after we finish,
Oh, we
please.
sorry, we sorry.
Thank you.
And it's 8 months.
Barakatah Yahweh by Shemi Hawashai, Asheran, Tananawa, Pari Agapan, Tuara Aman. La Yahweh by Shemi Hawashai, Af Yashar. English translation. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the fruit of the vine. Thank you, Subir. To Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, with Israel. Ahmad Wa, Panyawa Yerushalayim, Standing Face Jerusalem. Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai, Babakushai, Shemai, Lanawe, I Yem Yen, I Shalak, Mike Allah, Walla Allahayim, Tazwadakian, La Shema Ayo, Barak, Raphael, Magan, Wakhaziyak, Banya, Yash Allah, Washalat, Lanawa, Rabian, Kakamad, Rabian, Ta'ait, Rabian, Bayanad, Rabian, Sabalanwa, Rabian, Amawan, Rabian, Aqua, Rabian, Mahabian, Rabian, Haganad, Rochanaya, Wasalak, Ko, Katayanawa, La Akian, Wa Akiwa, Wayash Aleph, Yad, Why Walam, Basham, Yahoshai, the Water, Aman. English translation. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please listen to us now. Right now, send Michael and the righteous powers to watch over, bless, heal, protect, and make strong the children of Israel. And send to us much wisdom, much knowledge, much understanding, much patience, much faith, much brotherhood, much love, much spiritual protection, and forgive all our sins. For the brothers, sisters in Israel, always and forever, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, Sophia. Prayer for the food. Yahweh, Gadawo, Basham, Madawanya, Yahweh Shai, Babakushai, Barak, Mako, Yanawa, Shatayawa, Yanawa, Yayan, Yanawa, Lakham, Yanawa, Shakara, Yanawa, Zakhak, Shah, Hakadash, Basham, Yehoshua, the water, man. Yahweh, Basham, Yehoshua, Barak Noah, Wayash Allah, Wapap Yasaparian, Shema, Yashville, Yahweh, Elohai Noah, Yahweh, Aken. Translated says, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless us in Israel in the house of books. Then we said, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. With that, once again, we'll say Ashar Kadash. Happy fifth new moon. Everyone have a blessed day. Try to keep in the spirit as best as possible, applying all grace. And most times we'll talk to everybody in the Friday class. Shalom, La'ilah Tuah.
La'ilah Tuah. Shalom.
All right, Akim, circle up.